Call Mary Elizabeth Vennings.
Mary Elizabeth Vennings.
What is your urgent?
Oh, judgment.
You take the book in your right hand and swear the oath.
Yeah. I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
So, Mrs. Vennings, you're saying that the suggestion that your son was engaged in smuggling was wildly out of character?
Oh, more. Much more. I mean, it's impossible. We, well, perhaps because he's our only child, Paul and I have always been very close. Particularly with...
Yes, Mrs. Vennings?
Well, with his father, always so busy on his business affairs, you know.
Quite so.
Paul isn't like a lot of the youngsters of today with their wretched demos and their pop, this, that and the other, and their permissiveness. Oh, no. No, he'd much rather be off on his own, quietly getting on with things, studying and so forth, you know.
Thank you, Mrs. Vennings.
Mrs. Vennings. You're obviously a very proud mother. It's natural that you see your son in a favourable light.
Yes.
As you say, you're very close. Your only child, your husband away a lot. In fact, it must have been very difficult over the years not to spoil him. After all, there was never any shortage of money, whatever he wanted.
Oh, we've always tried to give him a proper sense of money values. He's had a set allowance just like any other child.
And his allowance, now he's at college?
Oh, a moderate one, yes.
Moderate compared with what you could afford to give him.
Moderate compared with what some of them get.
Has he asked for more? For a larger allowance?
No.
Or what about a lump sum? And didn't he ask you recently for several £100? Money that would enable him to finance a trip, an overland trip to Asia during the summer vacation.
Oh, yes, he asked.
But you refused.
Yes, I did.
How did he take it, your refusal? Wasn't he upset about it? Didn't you, in fact, have quite a row about it?
Oh, no.
No hard words, no disagreement?
Yes, but that was about the idea of the trip, not about the money.
I see. You didn't want him going off. It was perfectly understandable. Away overseas, Land Rovers, Kabul, Benares, Nepal, the Asian drug tour.
No, I didn't. Is that so strange? Well, at least he came and asked me, which is more than most of them would have done these days.
Well, surely they'd ask, madam. They'd get down on their knees and beg if they needed money for a trip. My learned friend has described the accused as a frank person. You would agree with that?
Completely.
He's not in the habit of deceiving you?
Oh, certainly not.
And not even about his activities at college with his fellow students, no? You claim just now that he disdained their wretched demos, their pop this and that, and their permissiveness. And naturally you wish this, but is it true?
Well, I should know my own son.
Yes, you should, madam, as he should know you. So he has never, to your knowledge, attended a student demonstration?
No.
Nor been gated for attending particularly wild parties or sit-ins?
No.
Mrs. Vennings, this is an important question. To your knowledge, has Paul ever used drugs?
To my knowledge, no.
No. Now, you've been at pains to assure us that Paul is a good, indeed, even a model son. How about yourself? Would you say you've been a good mother?
Well, I've always tried my best, naturally.
Your best? Do you take tranquilizers, Mrs. Vennings?
Well, yes, I have had some prescribed.
I have to put it to you, madam, that perhaps your best is not very good. Were you, on the 3rd of March, 1970, convicted of driving whilst drunk?
Yes.
Did you plead not guilty?
Yes, I did.
So you went into the witness box, you took the oath, and you denied that you'd been drinking anything?
Yes.
You were disbelieved on your oath and found guilty?
Yes.
Yes. following conviction on charges of drunken driving. Earlier this year, did you attend the Hapsworth Clinic near Solihull for treatment? Yes or no, Mrs. Vennings?
Yes.
What treatment?
It was a special diet.
Very special, madam. Specifically, it excluded alcohol.
My lord, with respect, an advocate must be allowed to develop his examination. But when it becomes clear that it is not directed to an issue in the case, it is time for him to be stopped. My learned friend appears to be trying to make out a case against a witness.
Well, Mr. Elliot?
My lord, I'm endeavouring to show that, far from giving the accused the attentive moral care which she has claimed, this lady has, by her example, exposed him to her own brand of permissiveness.
Yes. Well, I think we can agree that you've gone far enough with that line.
Thank you, Mrs. Vennings.
Thank you, Mrs. Vennings. That will be all. Now, my lord, I should like to call a third character witness prior to calling the accused to give evidence. I believe Mr. Elliot will have no objection.
Not at all, my lord.
Very well.
Call Jennifer Alison Harley.
Church of England.
You take the book in your right hand and swear the oath.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. You are Jennifer Alison Harley, and you live at 54 Grange Road, Renton.
Yes,
You are 20 years of age, and you're a student at St. John's College, Renton.
I am.
Miss Harley, were you a friend of the accused, Paul Vennings?
I am.
That is an engagement ring you're wearing, I believe.
Yes, Paul and I were engaged last week.
Congratulations. May we take this as an instance of your feelings towards his alleged crimes?
My feelings?
Well, you seem to me to be a sensible young woman. Hardly the type I would have thought to commit yourself to marrying a criminal faced with a potentially severe prison sentence.
Paul's no criminal.
Thank you, Miss Harley. How long is it since you first met Paul?
About 7 or 8 months, I suppose.
And during that time, have you had any reason
Look,
to
Mr.
feel...
Fry, I'm sorry, but this isn't what it's about.
If you don't mind, I will ask the questions, Miss Harley.
I know Paul's innocent because I was there with him.
Silence in court.
Well, if I'm here to tell the truth...
Miss Harley, in his statement to the police, the accused claimed to have been alone when in Cherbourg Harbour.
Yes, sir. He said he wanted to keep me out of it. Said there was no need.
A chivalrous, if misguided, gesture.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Miss Harley, since you've taken it upon yourself to correct a misunderstanding implied in his words, perhaps you'll tell us why you feel this means that he's not guilty.
Yes, sir. We had 4 days together over there, in Cherbourg, that is. I was with Paul the whole time, every minute, day and night. I watched him leave the harbour on the 29th.
Not so fast, please, Miss Harley. This is very important. Yes?
At no time could Paul get hold of the heroin without me knowing, much less hidden it on board.
Thank you, Miss Harley.
Well, there's more.
Of what nature, Miss Harley?
Well, you see, I think I know how the heroin got there. It was planted deliberately while we were ashore, planted by some nutter with a thing against Paul. Paul may be weak, but he's certainly not stupid.